Hey guys, so I just got home from WinterCon. I'm just kind of unpacking now. I just want to just quickly vlog it. Just kind of get this over with. So I'm gonna keep it 100. It was not a successful con for me. Yeah, so kind of like Big Apple Con, I'm not going to be going back to it. It's funny enough, it is run by the same people. I'm not blaming them, just saying, it's just not working out for me. So, yeah, Mo and Phil have done this con before. I really need to put that other painting back up. Anyway, Mo and Phil have done this con the last, 2 years that, with the camera up, that this con has, been a thing. And, they said they enjoyed it. At the same time, their artwork is a lot more, I guess you would say, commercial than my work. They do have a little bit, they have way more fan art than I do. I have more of, my original stuff, So, it is a little bit harder to sell art, especially when people don't immediately go, that's Joker and Harley Quinn, or, oh my god, that's Pokemon, or whatever fucking shit. They look at mine, they're like, wow, this is really weird. I'm gonna keep moving on. Oh my god, so many fetuses. This feels weird. I have my child with me. Moving on, make a joke about Planned Parenthood because of what I do, all that shit. But yeah, so we got there and it was a little confusing because also let me just kind of dial it back a bit. So probably about a week or so before the con, so this is probably before Thanksgiving, I was just like, you know what, I haven't gotten an email yet saying when we set up, because usually, you're allowed the day before to set up, especially if it's a weekend con. Yeah, you're gonna set up on fucking, Friday. So I'm just like, man, I haven't gotten an email. And I was Skyping with Mo and Phil. I was like, hey guys, when do they tell you, to do it? And they're like, oh no, they don't tell you. We just show up, that they... a good thing we found our table, just very, nonchalant, these people are disorganized. Anyway, we show up and have a good time, and it's kind of for me, I'm kind of a little neurotic when it comes to stuff like that, so, I need, a good amount of organization and planning and all that stuff, and anyway, so I emailed them, and I kind of emailed them, two, I guess you would say two different email addresses, the main info at wintercon.com kind of shit, and then the separate person who I guess runs it. So I emailed both of them hey, I just want to know, we're kind of a week away. And the freaking, not the next day because it was freaking Thanksgiving, but the day after, so Black Friday, I got an email back being thank you for being one of our artists, blah blah blah. And I was like, wow, if I didn't alright, it was just just so you guys know, we want you all to set up on Friday, come in here, and do this and that, and I was like, alright, cool, at least I know, date and time and stuff, that's always good. But then they just kind of gave you the address to the venue itself, which is the Resort Casino. Alright. But when you got there, there weren't any, signs that say, and usually, oh god, did I break more of this fetus? I need to repair my little fetuses here. Anyway, usually, there'll be signs saying, loading dock or whatever, because I've done, Walker Stalker so many times that, I kind of, know where to go, even after, they changed, the venue and stuff. Kind of had, a feeling. But this one, because it's a casino, I'm like, where the fuck is this con, happening at, if it's at a fucking casino? So, Paul, of course, I went with Paul. We just, stopped a car in front of the casino, went up to, the security guy, and I just went, hey, I'm here to set up for WinterCon, where do I go? And the guy goes, yeah, go around, go up the garage thingy to P6, da-da-da. And I was like, okay, kind of vague. So I told him, we're supposed to go up to P6 or something. So we go around the frickin', so, casino's here, and then, and then we went around, and there was, this parking garage, and we went up, all the way up to P6, which is the roof, the parking roof, and when we when we drove up there, obviously it's just parking, and we both immediately turned around and we saw a doorway and we saw people with like dollies and stuff. We're like, oh, it's here. Why did they say that? Like, why in the email did they say like, oh, it's supposed to be like the parking garage on the roof? Because it's like, not everyone's done this before. And, you know, some of us have friends that don't tell you that you have to go to like the parking garage roof thingy, you know. Because like, yeah, once you got into like the elevator of like the casino and you saw it say like, this is the parking garage, this is one floor casino, another parking garage, another casino, event space, P6, then you're like, oh, but I've never, like, neither of us, you know, been there before. We don't gamble or anything, so we're not just like, oh yeah, I know where it is. It's all right in the back, Bill. Come on. You know, that kind of shit. Anyway, we get there, you know, Paul just kind of parks the car outside again, because I was like, oh, let me just, like, sign in. And usually, you know, you sign in, you figure out where your table is, and then you get going. So I went and I was like, yeah, I'm signing as artist. And they're just like looking through paper, like, artist, follow that guy right there, go to him. And I was like, okay. I was like, hey, you know, I'm checking in, artist, they're like, what's your name? And I was like, Josephine Tam. Like, oh my god. The guy goes, yeah, so your names are on the table, find your table. And it was like, where is it? I have it in my thing here. So they have like these on the table, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna look for my name. And I'm just like, like, going through so many freaking tables and just thinking like, I don't see my name. I was starting to like slightly panic a bit and just be like, where the fuck is my name? Like, oh my god, like I emailed them, they took my money, you know, all that stuff. I was like, where's my fucking name? You know? And it was like literally anyone could have went in and just be like, this is my table, burp, 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 you know? That was another thing, it's just that like when, you know, I sent in my form to like be like, yeah, I want to be an artist. I didn't really get like a confirmation email saying like, thanks for signing up, you know, you've got a space, yada yada. I would get like other emails saying like, hey, the convention's coming up soon if you want to get your, just like your regular ticket. So I was like, did they not? I don't know. The only confirmation I got was like the payment one, because it was via like PayPal and all. So I was like, all right, I guess I got it. I got proof. So if there's any discrepancy, and you know, when I did, you know, Big Apple Con, that was crazy. You know, I'm not sure if I mentioned in that vlog, you know, where I freaking would get like emails from like a third party being like, oh, you have to pay. And I was like, no, bitch, I paid. Forwarded, you know, confirmation, all that stuff. It got kind of crazy. But anyway, so yeah, I found my table and I was like, wow, this place is a lot bigger than I thought, you know? Like, it's not too big, like for an event space. It also has like autograph signing and like dealers and stuff. It's not a bad spot, you know? It's a nice small convention to go to if you like have like a Saturday or Sunday off just to check. But to really be like vendor or, you know, artist at, it's a little bit tougher. It's mainly because of like how they have it set up. So they have vendors kind of like along like the perimeter of the thing, and then artists are in the middle. Although in the map they make it seem like, you know, like vendor and artist. Like the map I saw in the form, it was very much like vendors here, artists are here. But then they had it set up where, like I said, it was just like around the perimeter against like the walls and stuff, where the dealers and then artists were in the middle in these kind of little islands. So that became like a little clusterfuck of its own. Within one little section, there's a table here, two tables, another table, and then two tables like that. And it gets really confusing because it's like people are like, do I walk? Like normal artist alley things, you know, like all the tables are facing one way or whatever. So people know like, oh, I'm going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, you know, like up and down, good. But this one was a little confusing. So you're just kind of like, do I go up and down and I go side to side? You know, like FlameCon had it like that, but they also were like, everything was centered in that room, you know, and you can kind of say the same thing here with WinterCon, that everything is centered in that room. At the same time, it wasn't confusing. You knew, you're like, oh yeah, there's artists, like the tables that go like this, and there's some tables that go like that. But here, it was just, there was just so much on top of one another, and also the space, like, for you as an artist. So like, I ended up having to push like my banner thing so much closer to the table, so then my print display was kind of covering part of my banner, because I couldn't pull it further back, because if I did that, it would hit the people who were sitting behind me, and then every time Paula and I would try to like leave the table, we'd bump into the people adjacent to us here, because the tables were like literally like this, and then your seats, you know, and then you're trying to leave, and like, oh, here, I'm gonna rub my butt against your face as I walk past, you know, like constantly running into each other, and it kind of was like shitty like that. And I've seen that at other cons. I think the last time the very last time we went to like Anime Next or something, like we lucked out and got like a table against the fucking wall, thank fucking Christ. But like if not, we would be suffering and doing that too. And again, you know, because everything is so close together and we're having these little islands and stuff, certain people, like their displays might, you know, like overshoot others. So you might like skip a table, whether on purpose or just because you're like, oh, that's a big display, and you just walk past and you don't even realize there's a table next to that. You know, there was a lot of like organization, you know, kind of things that were kind of like getting at me. You know, like I said, stuff like that. But then it's also like, because again, like vendors and stuff were around the perimeter, people are just kind of like, all right, cool, vendors, yada yada. And then again, like, and this becomes like just like a thing of its own where it's like, all right, yeah, like as an artist, I guess you should have the most, like, it sounds really dumb, but just like the most flashy, biggest display. So people be like, oh man, I have to go to that because there's a lot of stuff happening there. Which is like making me think like, oh great, I have to start, you know, like what am I gonna add lights to my fucking display, you know, like I'm gonna have to, you know, all that stuff. But then it's also comes to the thing of like, I don't really have fan art with my work, so that's another reason why, like I know a lot of people didn't really stop by and look at my stuff because it's more original work, not a lot of fan art, you know. I also don't have like a banner with me with my fan art next to the actor or actress, you know, like I'm not like, hey, guess what, I did, you know, portrait of Jared Leto, and look, I'm with Jared Leto, he's holding the picture of himself, and look, I did the you know what I mean, like, so it's like, okay, I get it, you know, like, and you know, whatever, make your money however you want. But yeah, so it wasn't, like I said, very successful. I got a bunch of people coming to the table, I got a lot of people like interested in the work. I didn't get many sales, and you know, like these, like, you know, when you are, you know, artist, vendor, yada yada, like your main purpose obviously is to make money. You know, obviously if you want to make some nice connections and shit like that, that's also cool. But it was just like where I was stationed, like people walk past a lot, and I was just like, I'm just sitting here, okay, just here. Alright, I'm here. You know, just kind of like, la 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 la. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of times of just sitting there and being bored, you know. The people, like, you know, people I met there were very nice. It's just, you know, I ran into a couple people that I knew who would do like vendor stuff around New York anyway, and they were even telling me like their stuff is like, I would say like, well, because they're dealers and stuff, so they obviously would sell more. But they were telling me that their, you know, sales were kind of low and all that stuff, you know. And at one point, one of the people running the show even came by and said, how are things? And I was like, man, to be honest, it's really slow. And he's like, oh man, I'm sorry. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, what can you do? You know, like, yeah, it's like on one hand, it's like, yeah, you could probably run the show better. On the other hand, like, I can freaking, I don't know, sell out and, you know, just start doing nothing but fan art. You know what I mean? And start doing stuff from things I don't even watch. Like just, oh, start doing Steven Universe stuff. Or, oh my god, what's the hottest thing right now? Oh, Undertale. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just to get people just to buy my stuff. Like, I could do that, but, you know, like, I also have integrity. You know, so I'm not gonna do that. So it's like, you know, double-edged sword. Like, I'm either gonna have to just conform and be like everyone else, or do my own thing. But then it's like, well, if I don't do my own thing, it's like, becomes this whole, like, fucking shitty cycle. Like, oh, if I do fan art, people only see me as doing fan art, and when I do original art, people don't know I know things and stuff, you know? It's, yeah. But, you know, like, I had fun only because, like, you know, I had Paul with me, but I think if I was just by myself, in all honesty, I was starting to feel really down on the last day, because the first day, you know, it was kind of slow, and then it got a bunch of people, and, you know, got like a little sale here, and it was fine, and then like, I was like, alright, cool, you know, the last day, Sunday, people, you know, it'll be fine, and then it was just like dead on Sunday. Like, there were people, but most people were just like, oh my god, blah blah blah, and just like running past you, and like, you know, like I said, I did run into some people to talk to, but it was just still kind of like, oh, cool, nice meeting you, cool, I'll take your card, bye, you know, that kind of stuff. And it sounds kind of fucked up, like, no one's buying anything, I'm here for the money. But at the same time, when you know, get these tables, like, that's kind of your goal, is to make money. So, like, it sounds douchey, but that just kind of is what it is. But yeah, like, I was, like I said, like, on Sunday, I was starting to feel, like, super fucking shitty, especially when we were starting to, like break this stuff down and, like, alright, I'm leaving, all that stuff. And, I was starting to feel a little bit better because I got, like, a notification about I'm gonna go run into politics here, about the Dakota Access Pipeline. So I was just like, alright, cool, at least something is like, going well in this world. Jesus, finally. So I felt a little better. So when I was, like, breaking myself down, I was like, alright, you know what, like, I barely made any money at this con, but you know what? At least Native Americans can you know, they get to keep their land and not have it be fucked up with. So you know what? Small victories in this world. Small victories. But yeah, then it's like, we were done and we were leaving and we're just putting stuff into his car. And we were just like, you know what? Like, neither of us gamble. Like, none of my friends, like, none of us really gamble. So we were just like, you know what? Let's just like check out the casino, let's see what it's all about, you know? Like, I have not set foot into casino, not like actually on the car, because I don't even think I was of age the last time I went to, like, Atlantic City. But yeah, like, I was like, oh, fuck it, let's see how it is, you know? So then, like, we put stuff in the car, you know, go back in the elevator, you know, go in, and it was just like, as shitty as I fucking felt, like, at the end of the day, like, God, nothing's more depressing than going into a goddamn casino and just seeing people just literally just throwing their money away. And I was just like, oh my God, you just see all these people just putting in money. And man, I feel old because fucking, like, all the fucking machines are, like, super, super digital now. Like, I knew they were even when I was younger, but now they're, like, all super fuck off digital. You know, even if you're playing, like, blackjack and stuff, it's all computerized with, like, a woman with, like, a low-cut dress kind of thing. And she's just like, welcome and play your blackjack, boobs. You know, kind of shit. But yeah, this tiny little casino where you really think that there'd be actual dealers there and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, after walking around, me and him were like, God, that was really depressing. And then I was just kind of, like, laughing. I was like, you know what, as shitty as I felt about this weekend, you know what, it's not as bad as, like, these people losing all that money. At least, you know, I did gain a little. I lost, you know, for my, like plus and minuses. Yeah, I'm more on the minus, but not as much as these people with the fucking, you know, their fucking casino losses. So I was like, alright, I don't feel so bad. And I found out where, like, when Mo and Phil said that they found a Popeyes, I was like, where? They're like, I don't know, we just found it. It's in the food court of the casino. They were just like, yeah, we just somehow found it. I'm like, where? They're like, we found it. I love my friends, but they are a little bit on the derpy side. But anyway, so I'm going to continue unpacking and reorganizing my life and, you know, have a slight existential crisis for the rest of the day. So, anyway, yeah, so gonna probably have a couple more, like, you know, makeup videos, obviously, movie review stuff, because it's coming towards the end of the year. Star Wars is coming out, so I got my tickets, gonna go see that. And, yeah, so I think the next convention I'm doing is, I got 2 big ones in April, so it's not gonna be doing any conventions till April. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I really suck at, you know, ending videos. I really need to get better, like an outro or something. But anyway, thank you, all that stuff. That was WinterCon.